What's going on, y'all? Machiavelli Mills TV. So a lot of people ask me what was it like being a teenage father. For those who don't know, I had my daughter when I was 18 years old. My daughter was born when I was 18, right? And so, still finishing out my senior year of high school, and it was scary for sure. Wondering if you're doing everything correctly, if you're nurturing the baby in the right way, if you're burping him the right way, if you're, raising them up the right way, are you making sure they're hitting the correct milestones at the correct time, all of those things. And mainly, you worry about will you be able to be a great provider for your child? I know I did as a young man, right? For those who don't know, I went to college when my daughter was about 6 months old. And the plan was her mother was still in high school for her mother to graduate and then come out there with me, right? And so, so when I went away, because I had already attained my full academic scholarship a year before my daughter was born. And so that was a plan for me to go to Mississippi, get my degree, do my thing, right? And so my daughter was born, and, you know, things changed, but my plans still stay the same, ultimately due to the support system that I had. My mother, my grandmother, my father, my sisters, they really helped me and support me in my absence because I was going away to school. And my mother went to go get my daughter all the time, right? Making sure that she stays connected to her, to our family, making sure that she knows my family, and spending time with her, right? Now, when I was in school, I worked a work study job. I worked in a school bookstore, as I shared with you before. So I always made sure that her mother had proper finances to take care of my daughter. I sent money home whenever I could, right? Whenever I got paid, I made sure she had whatever she needed, and I had my refund check too. That helped out with a lot of things, right? But yeah, man, it was really a time of me learning what it meant to be a man. I was already mature for my age without a doubt, and everybody that knows me will tell you that. But when you have a child as a teenage man, a boy at the time, I was a man, 18, but still young, right? You have a different type of vigor in you. You're supposed to, at least, right? And so when I went to school, I knew that I was already taking school seriously because I had an academic scholarship and I couldn't be failing off. I'm failing off classes. They send me right back home, take their scholarship. I didn't want to come home empty-handed. But I knew that me going to school, I had to give my best effort in school because I knew if I gave my best effort, it could lead to me building bridges. People seeing my work ethic and all of that, building bridges to prosperity that would help take care of my child, on and on and on and on, twice over, right? And I wanted to be able to do the things that my mom did for me, my father did for me, times two, you know? Still working on that. But I was able to let my daughter see a lot with me getting those degrees and being able to work in certain fields because I have a master's and a bachelor's degree, right? So as I mentioned, I was gone away, but thank God that Uvu and Skype and those things were invented because it allowed me to still see my daughter to know me, know that I'm dad and all of that, right? I came home every single break. Thanksgiving, Thanksgiving, winter break, spring break. I never went to Panama City, none of that in spring break. I came home because I knew I had my daughter here and I had to keep that relationship strong because I was gone outside of the summer. I was gone outside and outside of the summer and those breaks, I was gone all the time, right? And so, but her mother made sure she was raising her to a high standard, and my family was a community for her mom. And while I was in my absence, and so I'm always thankful for her for doing that, while I was gone. But yeah, man, it was scary at first. When you have to care for a young daughter a little differently. What do I mean by that? You don't love them any differently, right? But a woman has a girl has a different anatomy. There's a certain way you have to wipe a little girl when you're changing diapers. All of those things my mother teaching me. First time father, she teaching me about what months to put cereal in the milk. All that, how to burp my baby properly, all of those things, when my baby's born. Before I'm leaving off to school, when she first born, I'm learning all of this stuff when, she's young, right? Um, but yeah, man, now to sit here now, my daughter was born when I was 18. My daughter will be 13 years old this year, right? And it's been an absolute treat for me watching my daughter, start walking, start talking, develop her own personality, develop her own interest, learning, going to school, getting older, getting taller, all of those things. It's been a beauty for me. I marvel at my child because I'm so blessed and thankful for her. But yeah, man, my child is really we grew up together a lot of times, right? I was already mature, but I'm saying I went through life learning a lot, and at the same time, my daughter bonding with me as I'm getting older and older, right? And so when I came home, when I finished, because I did 4 years in Mississippi Valley, graduated, did 2 years at Arkansas State University, got my master's degree. Then I came home permanently, and I remember the smile on her face when she knew I was coming home, and I was coming home to stay in Chicago, man. And she was elated because now she can come over all the time. She can see me a lot more. We can spend a lot more time together. And yeah, man, I was able to do things like, along with my mom and my son's mother and everybody, we're able to take her to Disney World at 7 years old. And to see, those amazing things that a child can see at Disney, which put a smile on her face, and she was just bright-eyed from seeing that, right? And so, man, it's been a pleasure, man, to watch my baby grow, for sure. But as a kid, yeah, it was still a pleasure then as a young man, because, again, I'm I'm young, but I'm watching my baby grow, and I'm like, wow, this is crazy. This is crazy. But it instilled a different sense of responsibility in me, because you have somebody that's dependent on you and looking at you to come with the solutions. And yeah, I'm like, yo, I got to get this done. I got to get this done for my baby. I got to get this job. I got to get this degree. I got to get this other degree for my baby. All of that, and it put a different type of drive and motor in me. And so I'm blessed for my child, man. I'm blessed for my baby. Blessed for both of my children, both of them. My son as well. My son, beautiful baby boy, beautiful. One of the sweetest souls you will meet, right? I spoke with you all. He's growing and growing and getting bigger. Y'all seen him on here. My son is autistic. So I had, me learning a different thing, you learning to parent a child that's autistic and love them the appropriate way and be patient with them the appropriate way. Man, I've learned a lot from parenthood and fatherhood in general, man, and I'm blessed for it. But yeah, man, I remember being nervous when my daughter was born, and then, I was the good kid, man. I didn't smoke, I didn't drink, I didn't do no gang. I ain't join no gangs. I got a little baby though, and but I'm like, yo, I told her mother, hey, I'm gonna do everything I can and then some to the highest degree, and I'm gonna love my baby with everything in me, and I will do everything I can to make sure she don't want for nothing. She don't want for it. She have all the things that she need, at least. Everything she needs, she'll have. And yeah, man, and that's what I set out to do. And I'm still ensuring that I can do that as best as possible. And this fatherhood has been a great journey for me. Like I said, I learned a lot. And I had a great example of a father from my dad and my grandfather and etc. Right? Watching them being able to do what they had to do, even when they didn't want to do things, right? Even when you got to complain and grope about it, you get up and do it because you got somebody to answer to. And yeah, and whew, times I done been stressed out beyond my years. I got some gray hairs in my head, you know what I mean? At times, and I told y'all earlier, I had stressed out, had a little hair falling out at certain part, little alopecia, a little here and there and stuff like that at times because I was just stressed out with certain things, right? And then but regardless of all of that, I went in, made sure I did what I had to do for my baby, right? And so, yeah, man, it's been a beautiful ride, and I wouldn't take it back. I wouldn't change it for anything. But I'm thankful for the support system I had because I recognize everybody not everybody has that. I was blessed to have that, and I'm thankful. I'm more than thankful, man. But yeah, man, having a teenage daughter, it has allowed me to really like be a young dad and be able to see my daughter in all elements. And I'm proud of that. And now, I'm able to still be lively and young and thrive with my baby. I wouldn't advise nobody to be a teenage parent, but it was how the cards fell for me. And I was blessed for it. Love my baby girl, love my children. Peace.